right, everybody, this is the Pele Report for March 15th of 2023. Oh, yes. Let's look at it here. You can see a couple of things. Number one, we've got the Earth, Sun, Mercury conjunction with Neptune. There's Neptune. You see this alignment. Earth, Sun, Mercury's behind the Sun, then Neptune. And when we move it forward, here's the moon. That moon is going to move around. Let's see if I can move the moon. No. But the moon is going to be moving around. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. And then you can see a couple of other things here, right? The square to Mars. Look at this 90-degree square. It's pretty, pretty straightforward. Mars, Earth, Sun, Mercury out to Neptune. That is a 90-degree square. Now, the other square that I'm talking about in the Pele Report is, where's Pluto? Where's Pluto? Oh, there's Pluto. Okay, if we come out here, you can also see from here, okay, we're coming into a square with Pluto, Earth, Venus. Now, what you can't see is Venus conjunct the north node of the moon because this program's not good enough. It doesn't really show the ecliptic or where the moon crosses the ecliptic. It's just got the moon, going around. But the moon is not necessarily, here's the plane of the ecliptic, right? When you put all these planets on. So this is the ecliptic, okay? And it's got the moon going around on the ecliptic, but the moon doesn't. The moon's path, the moon's orbit, okay, is slightly tilted to the ecliptic. So it crosses, the ecliptic, which it's going to be crossing the ecliptic to the north, right? And that's where Venus is. And then it's going to come around and it goes a little bit south of the ecliptic, and that's the south node of the moon on the other side of the Earth, and then it comes around again. So here we can see that. And then, of course, you have this lineup, with the spring equinox that I'm not going to really go into with this program either, but let's move it along a little bit. Here we go. And make it a little bigger. Bring it down here. And see the moon moving? See the moon moving? Moon comes around to bam, right? March 21st. So we have a sun new moon is when the moon comes around and is in alignment with the sun. Mercury is not that far off, right? Venus is still a conjunct the north node of the moon over there, even though she's not on her own north node. She will, next week, next weekend, whatever, she'll come around and conjoin the north node of the moon. So that is what things look like from outer space, where things are very still and calm and cool and collected, and there's no worries or cares when you get way out there. I mean, I could go on with this program for a long time, but it's a long Pele Report today. So let's get on with it.
All right, let's do this thing. Okay. Wow. This is the confluence of the North Fork and the Middle Fork of the American River up here in Northern California, and it has been raining so much. You got to hang out till the end of the video because I got some of these rapids where the rocks that I usually could sit on to do Pele reports in the past are underwater completely. I mean, it's like It's like I've never seen it before. And I used to live here. I moved up here in 1991. So that's like 30 years ago. I've never seen this much water in these rivers. And how, opportune or apropos, yeah, for the Sun Neptune Mercury conjunction. Oceans of water. There's like this river of, rain. And this is just a break for the Pele report, I swear, because there's another storm front moving in. So tripped out. But actually, it's not that tripped out, because guess what? Even on my Telegram channel of New Paradigm Astrology, I posted a link to the, artificial storms. Instead of chemtrails now, they call it cloud seeding. Yeah? So they are, they're bringing in, they're basically spraying the clouds and creating storms because they want to accumulate snowfall. You got to check out. Maybe I should put the link down in the video below, but it just goes to show that anything can be going on these days. This could be a long Pele report because what? This is the astrological new year. This is the end, okay, of the old year, of what you began last March, 21st and 22nd, okay. That solar cycle, along with Mercury and Venus, is now gone all the way around. Seeded, matured, blossomed, fruited, died, and now it's all over, unknown soldier. That could be the Pele report for this song. For this week. But not only that. So it's the ending and the new beginning. What I posted there at the beginning, and I'm going to post it again at the end, these two charts side by side. So amazing. 5 days apart. And look how different they are, right? Because what we've got coming up this weekend, all right, is like the grand finale in the 4th of July fireworks show. Okay, it's like kaboom, Sun, Mercury, Neptune conjunction, square to Mars, like I showed you, okay. At the same time, Venus in that square to Pluto, and then 5 days later, man, Sun, Mercury move into Aries, and the moon comes around for a new moon, a brand new moon at the 1st degree of Aries. Talk about a new beginning, a new start, a new reality, a new year. Wow. Wow. Really amazing. And so what I first want to talk about, okay, is the ending. And that has to do, okay, with this Sun, Neptune, Mercury. And you've been feeling it this last week too. This isn't like these don't just happen like the computer says, on this day and that day. No. It's gradually builds and gradually lets out. And particularly even since the Sun entered Pisces, okay, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And Mercury and Saturn. Neptune, if you really want to think of it, Neptune is closing a 165-year cycle. So it's in its last 3 years of its home sign of Pisces. So we're closing a 1-year cycle, but we're also closing a 165-year cycle. Saturn is closing a 28-year cycle over these next 3 years. And guess what? Saturn will conjunct Neptune at the same degree of this new moon 3 years from now. Knock it out. I'm going to read the degree of this new moon, and it's very, very powerful. And we could say that it's hopeful. Maybe. But let's look at this ending, because, you know, Neptune is the collective unconscious. The sun is shining its light on the collective unconscious. This is opening up, you could say, like a portal. And that's what the mantra is about this week, is downloading, you know, from other worlds, from spiritual worlds, etheric worlds, astral worlds, galactic realities, the Pleiades, Andromeda, you name it. It's, you know, this is an opening. And Mercury is our left brain, our ego consciousness. Sun Mercury is like, I am listening, seeking, learning, downloading, you know, connecting ego consciousness to infinite spiritual realities. Now, here's the thing. Infinite spiritual realities, let's remember, there's no time, no space, no boundaries, no right, no wrong, no up, no down. There's no polarity. There's no good and no evil. Outer space is outer space. Okay? You know, the spiritual world is heaven and hell and purgatory and anything else that humanity has projected onto infinity, right? Onto Creator, Great Spirit, Source, love, hate. It's all, I mean, the collective unconscious contains everything. But the thing is, it's very confusing to the ego, because the ego, we live in polarity. Should I do this or that? You know, should I say yes or no? Am I winning or losing? Am I... The monkey mind goes on and on. So when we're confronted with Neptune, we're blown away. So this is a time of getting blown away, getting our minds blown. So Neptune rules everything from the crown chakra, mystical oneness with all creation of yoga and the whole path towards enlightenment, as well as despair, depression, sorrow, disillusionment, emptiness, and the void. There's a huge spectrum here. And I would say, depending upon your soul evolutionary intentions, what are your intentions for this life? That's how you're going to experience this week. You can plug into, and this can be just as like Jack in the Box, like boing, you know, boing, right? And it can open the gates of hell for some people. And it can knock you out and drag you down and, you know, just like absolutely scare the bejeebies out of you. There's nothing to hold on to. There's no future. There's no point. There's no purpose. There's everything I try doesn't work. I mean, you can go on into victim, into martyr, into, oh my God, overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I've been feeling it. I've been feeling overwhelmed. You can feel helpless. You can feel hopeless. You can feel weak. You can feel impotent. You can feel, you know, just like Yeah, like it's all over. And it's a very scary reality. It's a very scary feeling. It gives you this sense of impermanence, for damn sure. Even your most cherished relationships, ideals, possessions, money, dreams, it can all get wiped away like that. We are very vulnerable. These human bodies are very vulnerable. These hearts are very vulnerable. And I haven't even gotten into Venus square Pluto and Venus conjunct the North Node. Speaking of hearts. So I just want to say that you can be feeling all of this. And you can even be a little bipolar and be bouncing back and forth between despair to dreaming a new dream, or downloading a new vision, or opening your crown to, realities. This is such a super sensible time period. If you're ever going to have psychic experiences, if you are ever going to see ghosts, spirits, gnomes, or fairies, this is the time. You can be getting messages left and right, in and out, up and down. Ow! That can be the beautiful part. Remember, there's no time and no space, so the windows of the future can also open up to you, and you may get prophecies. You may get, you may become an oracle. So I want to talk about the mantra a little bit, because I talk about an artist, and some people could read that mantra and they go, "Oh, I'm not an artist. That I don't know what he's talking about, or that mantra's not for me." Sorry, baby. It's the sun. We all have a sun. We all are the sun. We all have Leo. We all have a fifth house. We all have creative self-expression. We create ourselves. We create our lives. We are sculptors of our lives. We are the artists creating our life. So I don't care if you can draw, paint, color, sing, or dance. We are all artists. Maybe sit with that a little bit. We're all healers. We're all teachers. We're all students. We're all artists. Let's not be cramming ourselves into boxes, huh? Knock it off. There's no boxes in Neptune, okay? There's no boxes in Pisces. It's all there. So it's almost like, you tap into the frequency. It's like tuning your radio. What station are you going to tune into? And people that have been avoiding, ignoring, denying realities, denying their soul intentions, denying their needs, denying their fears. If you've been in denial or you've been avoiding, this will be a time where Jack in the Box comes up and says, boing. Wacko, you ran out of drugs, or you're in the hospital, or your partner left you, or, it's all done. What other experiences can people be having? We're all so unique. I could sit here forever, because other people are going to have just situations where, you know, oh, you know, I want that vision. You know, I want that download. So, you know, and I haven't been meditating. I haven't done any breath work. I haven't done any inner work. I have no spiritual practice, but I want a spiritual experience right now. So go, whatever. Right? Substances, abuse. So there can also be this desire to escape, especially if you're overwhelmed, because we're also sensitive right now and all of our channels are open. Easy to get overwhelmed, like this river, just like the river just comes and swallows you and washes so many things away. So you can be having these experiences and boom, then they're over. And boop, new moon at the first degree of Aries, 0 degrees 50 minutes or something, man. At the same time, Venus, Aphrodite, conjunct the north node of the moon, the greatest symbol of love, marriage, union, romance, you know, just beauty, art, sugar, sweetness of life in the sign of Taurus. Yeah! Venus came home to Taurus. Ow! Square Pluto. You know, it's like, and Pluto says, you know, I want you back down here, Persephone. You know, you're trying to come up from out of the underworld, but you know, before you do, there's a few things you need to learn. So we started a new Venus-Pluto cycle January 1st. January 1st, Pluto was conjunct Venus. You can go back to the Pele report I did, right? You know? A time of seeding, new values, new priorities, new relationships, new people, right? It's just like really very, very, very powerful beginning there. And this square is the 90-degree square. It's the first quarter square. It's time to take what, you know, came through with your New Year's resolutions or whatever, and bring it down and out. Manifest it, create it, make it real. Second part of the mantra, before it's too late. Ooh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Before it's too late. The thing about Neptune and Pisces and the etheric world and the astral, you know, domains, you know, there is no time. And just like in dreams, right? You know, you wake up from the dream and it's gone. So it is important. This is a time where, you know, it's like, you know, the doctors walk around with the dictaphone, you know, or we walk around with our, you know, phones and, you know, be able to record something. Or, you know, the artist goes around with their scratch pad and their colored pencils or something. I mean, it's like you gotta grasp that download, you know, and, you know, mess with it, play with it, integrate it, understand it, feel it, you know, before it's gone. So that's before it's too late. I didn't really mean to, like, it's the end of the world and, you know, if you don't do it, you're gonna die, or it's, you know, it's too late. No, that's not what I mean by too late in the mantra. It's just that you need to, like, you know, you need to grasp that higher reality before it, you know, before that bird flies away. That's what I mean by too late. Yeah? Be awake, be aware, be ready. You know, Spirit is always speaking to us through everything. there goes a leaf. It's a sign. I love this stuff, man. Anyway, where was I? All right, let's get to the Venus. Love, partnership, relationship. What is the Venus-Pluto seed, module, nodule, intention, dynamic? It is that relationships, love relationships, intimate relationships are mirrors of our relationship to ourselves. And you cannot have a beautiful, loving relationship until you have a beautiful, loving relationship with yourself. So Venus-Pluto people and Venus-Pluto in general can be seeking fulfillment, love, through intense desire for connection to another beautiful, often sexual individual that is like going to fulfill them, going to complete them, going to make them whole, give them meaning, give them a purpose, really suck on relationship, draw on, this relationship is going to make me, it's going to complete my life. And this is where these relationships get in trouble. It's too much, it's too heavy, it's too intense. There's loss, betrayal, abandonment, manipulation, exploitation, lies and secrets, and just kind of control, trying to hypnotize, and all the things come up. Jealousy, revenge, possessiveness, anger, volcanic reactions, makeup sex, and violence, and Venus-Pluto is, it's the whole gamut of intense relationship experience. It's obsessive compulsive relationship. I've got to have you. I can't live without you. That could be another song for this week. Can't live. If living means without you. I've been singing that one myself. So, yeah. So this square, this square is saying, it's really time to be self-sufficient, which is Taurus, north node of the moon. Love ourselves wholly, fully, and completely. And stop demanding, expecting, projecting, waiting, hoping, getting angry when or whatever. Just take the burden off of your partner, please. Feed yourself, love yourself, pleasure yourself, smile to yourself, talk to yourself. Who cares how you do it? But don't be whatever, man. I shouldn't say, you can be whatever you want. I'm just saying that this is a time of doing relationship in a new way that has all the passion and all the juiciness and all the power and all the intensity, but, we're getting our needs met from spirit. And that's what's beautiful about the Sun, Mercury, Neptune. It's like, okay, I'm downloading from spirit, and we're all channels and instruments, and I'm going vertical, and I'm getting my reality fed, from the vertical, and therefore this relationship is going to succeed because I'm not going to, put a 10-ton weight on top of it and, put all of my, just don't put all the eggs in one basket, man. All right, I gotta read the 0 degrees Aries because it's so beautiful. It's so classic because it's even got a woman in it, which is Venus, right? I mean, so to have this Venus North Node square Pluto, at the same time that we're having the new moon, it's like in the freaking Sabian symbol. Where is it? A woman just risen from the sea. A seal is embracing her. The keynote is an emergence of new forms and of the potentiality of consciousness. It doesn't say guarantee. It says potentiality. This is the first of the 360 phases. The first of a universal and multi-level cyclic process which aims at the actualization of a particular set of potentialities. These potentialities in the Sabian symbols refer to the development of man's individualized consciousness. The consciousness of being an individual person with a place and a function, in parentheses, a destiny, in the planetary organism of the Earth. Gaia is one big organism, and we're little blood cells. Hopefully we're not spike cells. And in a particular type of human society and culture. To be individually conscious means to emerge out of the sea of generic and collective consciousness, which to the emerged mind appears to be unconscious. Ness. Such an emergence is the primary event. Boom. Equinox. Spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, fall equinox, but this is a beginning. Fall in the southern hemisphere, yeah? But this is the beginning of Aries. This is the beginning of a new cycle, right? It is the result of some basic action, a leaving behind, an emerging from a womb or matrix, here symbolized by the sea. Such an action is not to be considered a powerful, positive statement of individual being. In the beginning is the act, but it is often an imperceptible, insecure act. The small, tender germ out of the seed does not loudly proclaim its existence. It has to pierce through the crust of the earth, the soil still covered with the remnants of the past, especially if it got some good compost. It is all potentiality and a minimum of actual presence. In the symbol, therefore, the emergent entity is a woman. Symbolically speaking, a form of existence still close to the unconscious depths of generic biological nature, filled with the desire to be, rather than self-assertion. The woman is seen embraced by a seal. Get this is amazing, man. Yeah. Which has retraced its steps and returned to the womb of the sea. The seal, therefore, represents a regressive step. It embraces the woman who has emerged, because every emergent process is at first susceptible to failure. This process is indeed surrounded by the memory, the ghosts of the past failures during previous cycles. The impulse upward is held back by regressive fear or insecurity. The issue of the conflict depends on the relative strength of the future word and the past word forces. The possibility of success and that of failure is implied throughout the entire process of actualization. Every release of potentiality contains this twofold possibility. It inevitably opens up two paths. One leads to perfection in consciousness. The other to disintegration. The return to the undifferentiated state of humus, manure, cosmic dust, the symbolic great waters of space, to chaos. Will you return to Pisces chaos? Or will you emerge into Venusian Taurus? We're at that threshold, right? It's like exhilarating and exciting on one hand, and you can get scared shitless on the other hand. And you feel strong and powerful and autonomous one moment, and you feel helpless and weak and wounded in the next. And I mean, this is just like this is like, woo! Wow, anything can happen. So a couple of things I wanted to mention, and I will put a link to it down below. If you want to hear anything that can happen, I got this link. Did you see what the Pentagon has reported? That the pilots and everybody have seen so many orbs lately that they think that there is an alien mothership sending out probes to examine Earth. This is the Pentagon, baby. What next? These are the most insane, wild times, man. So, like I say, anything can happen. And with that in mind, I want to just talk about the return to our innermost self. Yeah, you know, this is a time where we can be scared, we can be confused, we can be depressed, we can be, you know, challenged, particularly in our relationships, particularly, you know, in our hearts, with grief over losses. And yeah, I mean, so astrology and your birth chart gives you so much understanding of who you are, yourself, why you are here, your roots, your innermost self. I'm doing, you know, a 4-day workshop in Athens with Mia, who is a psychotherapist and shaman in her own right, and is a master of ceremony, and together we are going to create an extremely magical weekend. This is right in the middle of May, and if you have any way of making it over there, it will be amazing. And if you want to stay longer or go deeper than you can do in 4 days, I will be working with Chiron and turning our wounds into medicine. Yeah, just before Athens on the island of Adipsos. Check that out. That's a week-long intensive. So, yeah, there's ways of calming, breathing, loving ourselves, owning our shit, surviving ourselves, and, creating a life we love. In the midst of the madness that society is now, putting us through, this is not a time to lose hope. Yeah. So, as an artist, I first must be open to worlds they say cannot be. You know who they are. Yeah. Everybody's got a they. I'm not going to name names. You give they your own name. Yeah. Then I must download and seek to create what I am given before it's too late. Download it and create it, put it out. This is Aries, spontaneous, new moon. Trust yourself. Slap it out, spit it out, speak it out, say it out, dance it out. Boom. Don't get your toilet plugged, man. Get rid of the old stuff, let out the new stuff. Yeah. One more time so you can get on with your day. As an artist, I must first be, or I first must be. I must first be open to worlds they say cannot be. Then I must download and seek to create what I am given before it's too late. It's too late to turn back now. I believe we're falling in love. So many songs you can think of. I'll put one down below in the notes. And don't forget Spotify, man. I've got the whole Pele Report playlist. Just go into Spotify and do a search for the Pele Report. Go on to Telegram, search for New Paradigm Astrology. Go on to Instagram. I'm trying to put my stuff out all over. I'm on Rumble. All the links are below in the YouTube notes. So I'm trying to connect. I hope to connect, and I hope that you are connecting, feeling connected to your innermost self. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.